It's even funnier. I forgot I muted my mic for last night. It's even funnier. And I'm not going to repeat what it is. Alright. We started this last time, but then stopped because we got tired. Alright, this? Huh? Oh, shit. Anyways. First SCP of the night is... King of the Mountain. The fuck? Some fucking reason. Like, I don't know. It just did something. OBS was telling me something, and it just popped up a bigger window of what I'm already seeing. I don't know why. I was confused. Yeah. Anyways. Um. SCP-1529, aka Man on the Mountain. I mean, not Man on the Mountain. King of the Mountain. God damn it. Shut up. It's Object Class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-1529's native environment is to be kept under telescope and surveillance whenever weather and daylight permit. Year-round telescope surveillance is to be conducted from the Foundation's permanent monitoring stations in redacted Nepal and redacted People's Republic of China. As early in the year as weather permits, a Foundation from company South Kumalagma Portage shall establish forward monitoring stations at base camp on the northern and southern accents and at the higher camps as weather permits, with the exception of Camp 4 on the northern ascent. Wait, was that camp? No, that's Camp 6. Okay. Camp 6 on the northern ascent and Camp 4 on the southern. Maintain until weather conditions force the evacuation of the mountain for the season. When 1529 is active, telescope surveillance will be conducted by means of an automatic telescope with a video feed playing at 7 seconds delay to avoid repeat of incident -2. When necessary and safe, surveillance should be conducted by airplane or helicopter. The Foundation shall how the fuck do I say this again? The Foundation shall liaise with civilian expedition coordinators as necessary to prevent attempts on the summit when 1529 is active. The bodies of any Ikers who encounter 1529 are to be removed from the mountain as soon as possible for autopsy and disposal. All 1529 related casualties shall be attributed to natural causes relating to altitude sickness and hypothermia. Any survivors and or witnesses are to be debriefed and administered a Class B amnestic. Old Task Force Site 29029 Alpine Echo shall remain on standby at all times at the Foundation monitoring station and redacted. During tours of duty, all members of the MTF shall remain at all times in a pressurized environment acclimatized to 7,900 meters above sea level. In the event that a reoccurrence of Incident-1 occurs, Alpine Echo shall deploy to the mountain by helicopter and attempt the procedure Reprieve. 1529 is a humanoid individual residing near the summit of Mount Everest in Nepal, above the 8,000-meter death zone mark, where human acclimatization is believed to be impossible. 1529 appears to be the average height and weight and is dressed head to toe in what resembles standard mountaineering wear and boots colored white. 1529's face is entirely obscured by the hood of its parka and what appears to be an oversized pair of opaque black mountain goggles. 1529 has never been observed to wear any other clothes. As very few living people have observed 1529 except through a telescope, it's not known whether its coverings are clothes or part of its body or what it may look like underneath. Except as per her interview -1. Foundation became aware of 1529 in the 1970s when annual expeditions to the summit of Mount Everest became commonplace. Rumors began to circulate in the mountaineering community about a monster near the summit. Photographs found undeveloped in George Mallory's camera after discovery of his remains in 1999 indicate that 1529 was present and active at the time by the time of his attempt on the summit and was not then significantly different in appearance than it is today. English mountaineer who perished in 1924 after possibly becoming the first man to reach the summit of Mount Everest. Foundation media assets have reported that Mallory's camera was never found and that his death was the result of a fall. During periods when daylight is sufficient and cloud cover allows for surveillance of the mountain, day 29 is on average observable redacted percent of the time. For redacted percent of the time, 1529 is inactive and lies or still sits motionless. Recorded periods of inactivity have extended from 17 minutes to possibly 8 months. Median period of inactivity is 23.4 days. When active, 1529 can be observed to climb about the upper reaches of the mountain and summit in no discernible direction. 1529 has never been observed to use any tools or climbing aids other than its hands or feet. While traveling along established climbing routes, will ignore the existence of guide ropes or ladders that have been installed by previous installed by previous climbers. Shut up. 1529 has demonstrated an ability to climb or descend sections of the mountain's face, believed impassable or to conventional mountaineers, has never been observed to fall or lose its grip, and is seemingly unencumbered by sub-zero temperatures, high winds, thin air, or low atmospheric pressure. The cause of its becoming active or inactive is unknown and shows no correlation to weather, time of day, traffic up the mountain, season, or time of year. 1529 has never been observed to descend below the 8,000 mark, except as per incident -1. Documented periods of activity extended from 3 hours to possibly 6 days. Median documented periods 15 hours. Nighttime observation for 1529 has thus far proved impossible. Infrared imaging has shown no difference in temperature between 1529 and the surrounding mountainside. If human climbers ascend past the 8,000-meter mark while 1529 is active, it will attempt to make its way towards them and interpose itself between them and the summit or camp. 1529 seems to prefer to target solo climbers or climbers that are significantly ahead of or behind the rest of their group. It will target individuals within a group if such an opportunity does not present itself. Once 1529 is within eyesight of a traveler, it will attempt to gain his or her attention and cause the traveler to make eye contact with it, which induces a hypnotic effect in the victim. The victim finds it very difficult to break eye contact with 1529 and will begin to feel very warm and comfortable and enticed to sit down and relax. Once the climber stops moving, 1529 will close range with the climber and data expunged. Death from hypothermia appears to occur within 1 to 2 hours of making eye contact with 1529, much more quickly than is typical for climbers stuck near the summit. After death, 1529 victims experienced an extremely accelerated rate of decay. After several hours or days, bodies have become rotted and mummified in levels comparable to bodies that have been laid exposed on the mountain for several decades. Of the approximately 220 people who have died in high altitudes of Everest since 1924, 1529 is believed to have counted at least redacted point or at least redacted people who survived encounters 1529, almost all except as per interview 1, due to another mountaineer assisting the victim before 1529 made physical contact. 1529 does not appear to be capable of advancing more than one climber at a time. However, physical encounters between 1529 and more than one person have been noted to lead to data expunged. Purpose and motivation for 1529's behaviors is unknown. Incident 1. On redacted 19 redacted, 1529 entered Camp 5 on the northern approach at 7,775 meters, and data expunged. Redacted casualties occurred, including both Foundation personnel operating the Camp 5 monitoring post. Foundation assets and media attributed the deaths to a sudden storm and poor planning on the part of an expedition coordinator, redacted, who was among the deceased. 1529 had not been on our estimation at the time due to its having entered active phase sometime during the night. It had not been yet been located on telescope. Today, this is the first and only documented instance of 1529 traveling below the 8,000-meter mark, or entering any camp while inhabited. Incident 2. On redacted 20 redacted, Agent redacted in a permanent facility of China engaged in telescope surveillance of 1529 while it was active near the summit of the mountain. Redacted reported that 1529, while facing in the direction of the base, looked directly in the direction of the telescope. Redacted immediately reported symptoms consistent with the 1529 encounter. Reported that 1529 had begun descending the mountain in the direction of the permanent facility. Redacted was unable to pull himself away from the telescope and had to be manually restrained the stated 17 minutes after beginning of encounter, whereupon he was rushed to facility sickbay and found to have a core body temperature of 27 degrees Celsius and signs of frostbite in the fingers and toes. By having remained indoors at the room temperature of 24 degrees Celsius for the duration of the encounter. Agent Redacted, who attempted to resume surveillance after Redacted's illness, found 1529 still descending the mountain and encountered similar symptoms. Telescope surveillance has discontinued until redacted, when aerial surveillance confirmed that 1529 had ceased to descend and had entered in an active state. Interview log 1529-1. Interviewed L redacted here after L. Interviewer Agent Redacted. Forward on redacted 20 redacted, L was reportedly killed during an encounter with 1529 when it abruptly became active shortly after L and reached the mountain summit. However, L was found alive when another team reached his position nearly 2 days later and was removed safely from the mountain. He required fingertip and toe amputations due to frostbite, but is otherwise making a full recovery. Thomas is excerpt from L's debriefing prior to his discharge from hospital. Or asks, does anyone want to read as Agent or L? Alright, who do you want, Jerry? That's Agent Redacted. Alright. Alright. Begin log. Tell me about what happened when you encountered the creature. which was a nickname given to the body of with fucking Alexa. Anyways, what was your reaction when you first saw it? What happened when you got his attention? What? Oh, so you believed you were imagining it? How so? How long did it take for it to reach you? What happened when it reached you? Were they goggles or eyes? Confusion? It spoke? Which was? Al became very troubled at this point of the interview and was silent for some time. Go on. How did it respond? What did it say then? Al is silent again. A few more questions, please. How did it mock you? Told you what? What happened next? What was that? Hi, Rando. Yeah. Uh, End log. Closing statement. After Al's encounter with 1529, it was not observed active or inactive for 5 months, 15 days, 19 hours. On next observation, its goggles showed no signs of damage or wear. L passed away on redacted 20 redacted. Foundation media assets have reported that the cause of death was due to complications from childhood exposure to asbestos. Autopsy performed by the Foundation indicated that L was suffering extreme hypothermia, frostbite, and cerebral edema at the time of his death. L had retired from L had retired from mountaineering following the 5029 encounter and had traveled more than 500 meters below sea level in the 12 months preceding his death. On redacted 20 redacted, aerial surveillance picked up an image of an individual of similar appearance to 1529 near the summit of redacted. As the government of redacted has prohibited mountaineering, threat to normalcy is negligible at this time. Aerial and satellite surveillance of redacted will continue on a regular basis until permanent monitoring stations are established. Alright, let me get the thumbnail. Okay, honestly, this is not bad, surprisingly. But, Gia, are you speaking? Well, now you are.
Little fucking shit.
Well,
Have we been silent this whole time?
you were.
You had us. Did you have us muted on the stream?
I did update my computer and I guess it changed my audio.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You need
Are
to be
you
double
saying
checking
that?
this shit.
Yeah. Hmm?
And Jerry just did so much reading.
I know. I'm sorry, Jerry.
Are we gonna have to read that again?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway. We all, ready to see the thumbnail?
I guess.
Not as bad as the other thumbnail. Doing it in 3, 2, 1.
I guess. I'd probably put that at 2.
2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they kinda fucked up like 2 of the most detailed elements of this thing being we can't see its face, and those are goggles.
Yeah.
I
Do you
have
see
to
any
go. I will be
straps on those?
right back.
You see any straps on those goggles?
No.
Uh,
2.
sounds like it.
Oh
What's up?
my god. It's just the way they're wearing their masks. They're not even covering the
Yes. What good jobs they're doing at preventing Rona or something. I don't know, man.
Alright. And no. none of the uh links needed to be in description are here or author.
Great.
Wait, what the? Wait, hold on. I need to. I'm gonna check this later. So I might YouTube might have recommended me another content farm right here.
Oh, great.
Thanks, YouTube. Yeah, but yeah, that's it. So we remove the image screen. That's there. All right, we ready to start the video?
I guess.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Daniel had been convincing his group of friends to go for a mountain hike, but no one was as passionate about mountaineering as he was. So Daniel decided to go on a solo hike. During the hike,
What do you
he even joined a few groups.
What do you mean? What What do you mean he wanted to convince his friends to go on a mountain hike? They were already on the hike. What the? Just click. Isn't there a contradiction box on the bingo?
Yes.
Just click that. This come on, man. It's not that hard to just draw your stupid little sock puppets in like a house somewhere to start with.
Also, I love how they copy paste the same guy and just change the color of the bandanas in one backpack.
Yes,
And again, none of them are putting over their fucking nose.
of course. Why would you protect your sinuses when you can just not?
But no one was going to the top of Mount Everest. Going on a solo hike wasn't hard for him, and he finally reached the top of the mountain, which was almost above 8,800 meters. He was thrilled and felt a rush of adrenaline in his body, but at the same time, he knew that he had to go all the way back now. He couldn't stay at such a high altitude for long, as the oxygen wasn't sufficient up there, so he just pulled out his phone to quickly take a selfie at the top.
Rips off his mask that was apparently made out of like fucking toilet paper.
And it's now back on him.
I just want to go on a hike, yes, when they're halfway up Mount Everest.
Isn't solo hiking at top of Mount Everest illegal? I don't know, Rando.
I wouldn't be too surprised. That sounds like it would not be allowed. Also, is Jiri still here? Jiri?
Get it?
I know it was odd we hadn't heard from him. Something tells me he had to go hit the switch.
No, we're waiting for Jerry. I'm gonna hit a certain button.
What's the certain button?
Insert ad.
What?
On OBS, insert ad.
Oh, insert ad?
Yeah.
It isn't allowed, but there have been exceptions. Ah.
Ad.
What am I missing? Is there's like
Did you not get an ad hatch?
Well, I'm not actually like watching
Oh.
the stream.
Oh, Rando got an ad. Hit the ad button.
I see.
Now we're just waiting for. I guess I'll go intermission while waiting for Jiri. That's a thing. Oh yeah, Rando, I can hit a button and it starts an ad at any given time. You just give me an ad. Yeah, I can spam it too, but I'm not going to. I'm not that much of a dick.
I mean, you could go ahead and do it. You'd lose a lot of viewership.
Yeah, exactly. The one reason it'll cause Rando to leave the stream. Ads. You know what, while we're waiting for Jiri, I can actually look at that. Oh, what is this?
What's going on?
I'm just looking at the Oh, it's an AI channel that was recommended down there. Oh, I see something illegal.
What, copywriting the video?
In their description, it says, originality and copyright notice. All content featured in this video is an original creation 100% owned by this channel. This is transformative, original narrative production. All characters, plot points, scripts, and visual assets are an intellectual property. We don't use scrapped or reused content. Every story is unique creative work. This channel adheres strictly to YouTube's original content policies and community guidelines. Buddy, you're doing an SCP video. It's Creative Commons, dumb fuck.
Also, is the Jiri back? The Jiri is back.
I'm back and wondering what's going on.
Oh, while we were waiting for you, I decided to, look at the, channel down there. The SCP channel. It's an AI channel. Use an AI art, and it copyrights their videos. It puts a warning on their videos.
Hey, fun fact. You can click that, like, the little 3 dots next to it and say never recommend this channel.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
God. I'm gonna do that to all the content farm videos.
You never knew that?
Maybe that's why YouTube keeps recommending SB content farm videos, because I don't recommend this channel.
No shit. How is it that you are younger than me and yet somehow constantly act like I'd expect my mom to?
Shut up.
While trying to do shit on here.
Go fuck yourself. Anyways, back to the content farm video at hand. Be ready?
Sure.
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
And then start his journey again. Just when Daniel was about to click the selfie, he saw someone walking towards the top.
Click the selfie.
Daniel thought it could be another solo traveler, so he got excited to have company on the way back.
What?
I was about to say, why would someone click a selfie when they're doing something so dangerous, but I remembered people are stupid. So I said, never mind.
Well, in this case, I think that was just a botched attempt at saying that he, like, took the selfie.
Yeah. All right. Let's continue in 3, 2, 1.
The man kept on coming closer, as if he had no problem climbing and knew every step. Daniel was impressed, as he wanted to become as efficient as that man. Wow, said Daniel to himself. Just when the man came closer,
Wow.
Daniel waved at him and made eye contact. When both of them locked eyes, Daniel felt a comfort and warmth, even when there was snow everywhere. Daniel couldn't pull his eyes away, so he sat down and rested his back against a big rock. The man kept on coming closer while looking at Daniel. Just when he came in front of him, Daniel realized it was not a normal human being. He wanted to shout, but his voice fainted. He wanted to pull away his eyes, but couldn't resist the gaze. Daniel was trapped. The man was wearing black goggles, and Daniel could see an image of himself sitting near the fire.
Wait. Oh, we don't actually see they replaced L with Daniel. Yeah. What the fuck?
Drinking a cup of tea, the man placed his hands on Daniel's shoulder and came even closer. Just about that time, the SCP Foundation saw the activity.
Good?
He placed his hand on his shoulder and then he came even closer, so it just shows him slightly scoot forward.
I kind of find it funny how he's standing straight. It kind of looks. I kind of just imagine he has his hand on his hip while he's standing. I don't know why.
Me,
This
it looks
feels like
kind of
this.
like pick Daniel up.
Kind
Anyways,
of does, yeah. This looks like a fucking weird ass setup to a fucking gay porno. Hey man, I see you're tired on Mount Everest. We gotta warm up. Trashy saxophone
Oh
music
no,
kicks
he's
in the
even making
background.
him feel warm.
my
Oh
So
fuck.
stupid.
yeah. One.
On their camera
Let
and
me
prepared to send a
love as
team
I
up.
get closer.
Who the fuck is this?
Oh,
SCP Foundation Anchorman. Yes. What is wrong with his neck? What is wrong with
where's
his
that
neck?
Dr. Cat?
What? Why is his neck a fucking like 3/5 the size of his head?
Uh,
This is just wrong.
What the heck? It's Rando. Anyways. That man has a neck immune to 173.
True, he is trained.
it looks 3/4 as long as the head, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
This man has trained his neck to be immune to 173 since the day of his birth.
Okay, yeah. Not sure that's a good thing, but maybe.
3, 2, 1.
Up on the mountain immediately. Professionals were getting on board, but then stopped.
The hell?
Yeah, okay. SCP professionals sent up
SCP
wearing.
professionals after they popped out of the 70s.
Wearing 2 layers of shoulder pads? Maybe.
Like the weirder side of the 70s.
Oh boy.
What they saw was terrible. Daniel was lying on the ground, and his body
Okay, never mind. Daniel did not replace L because L lived.
It's just fucking
Daniel was fucked to death. I mean,
POV. You walk in on me trying to stay awake while I'm streaming.
You lost all your money in Vegas.
No.
Yes.
He just looks like he's sad.
Wait, I just realized the thing that he was wearing all the whole time was a COVID mask. Look, it's right there.
Yeah, I'm sure a medical mask is going to be super helpful up there.
started to decay so fast that it seemed unreal.
That's what? Ah, yes, his body's decaying. How do we show that? Oh, it's just like splitting apart at the seams.
Oh my gosh.
that is not how a decaying body looks.
Reno says POV, you lost to 096 in the annual basketball competition.
You know what? Yeah.
What the hell?
This, it's just, I just, uh, bruh.
It felt like the seconds were passing at the speed of hours on that mountain. Hello, and welcome to SCP Foundation.
Oh,
I
the
am
fuck?
Hello, hello, man-sized Nezu. How are you doing? You are not a cat.
Question: Why did we see the weird, freaky anchor man if they were going back to the cat?
Oh no. I guess he was like supposed to be the guy who was telling the people to go out and save that guy or something.
Okay.
I am uncomfortable now.
He really is just a human-sized Nezu.
Well, Nezu is human-sized. He doesn't look like Nezu because Nezu looks cool. He's Nezu's weird
Ne-
cousin.
Nezu is not human-sized.
Yeah. He is
He's like
child
2
size.
feet. He's like 2 feet tall.
Renner says, I nominate bringing in the Black Templars from Warhammer 40k, the Purchase Warlord of this heresy.
Consider Nezu human-sized. He's just a short human. Honestly, we've seen humans in My Hero Academia the same size or shorter than him.
Fair. Anyways, in 3, 2, 1.
Dr.Cat, and I will be discussing the SCP-1529's case. My job is to create awareness and save people from being victims like Daniel. Subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends to keep them safe from the...
Wait. This social has its WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram.
Still need to watch My Hero. Valid.
I haven't watched a new episode that got released.
Oh, I haven't either. I need to do that.
Yeah.
I did watch the Chainsaw Man movie, and it made me cry.
Oh. Now we're gonna continue watching something that'll make you cry.
This isn't gonna make me cry. This is gonna make me pull my hair out. Oh,
Three,
not even Twitter. Yeah, no Twitter.
okay, the Golden Farm gets 1 point.
Even the stupidest cats are right twice a day or something. I don't know. With 9 lives, you're bound to have success on one of those.
I like how one of them is just WhatsApp, which I think is not something that's really all that popular and talked about anymore.
It's an extremely common thing overseas.
Yeah.
Like it's probably like based solely on like the bits of information I've seen. I'm pretty sure WhatsApp is more popular overseas than Facebook Messenger.
Damn.
Like it's still pretty damn big.
Gotcha. Anyways, in 3, 2, 1.
SCP-1529. Coming back to the case, SCP-15...
Okay. Wait a minute. I need to go back a second. I do not like the position he's in right here.
I mean, he was in that exact position earlier.
The real question is, why is he in a brown suit?
Yeah, wait, what the hell? What? Dude, what? It's not that hard to make this consistent. You already have a model you were using earlier.
Switch colors.
Ugh.
Maybe he did it to try to make it look less weird that he's looming over the person.
I
It
guess
remains just as weird either way.
So because of that, would it be counted as wrong SCP to sign this part?
I'm fine with that. This is stupid.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Case, SCP-1529, also known as the King of the Mountain, is a humanoid individual that lives 8,000 meters up on Mount Everest in Nepal. He is often spotted near the summit of Mount Everest. From afar,
Yeah, I'm sure he's that big.
Randomly?
What'd you say?
I was just talking at the video. Did you randomly make him a giant?
Yes.
Yes.
People don't look that big on the mountain.
Well,
Of course they do.
too bad he is now.
Okay.
Oh, hey, look, Anomalous Coffee Machine 2 is out.
Ah. I can't
I
stream
love me
that.
some horror hentai.
Granted, they did make a safe for work version for the first game, I think.
That's fair.
But I would be too terrified to stream it. Even the safe for work version.
Haven't you streamed Honey Pop before?
I haven't. I have the game. I haven't streamed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There have been people who did stream that because why? But that was not her.
29 appears to be a human. He always wears white furry clothes from head to toe. As he comes closer, it can be seen that he is wearing black goggles, which have been...
It looks more like sunglasses.
Yeah. Also, why the little flamey bit?
Yeah, wouldn't it like hurt? Like if they actually get pushed up, wouldn't it like just stab you?
Yes. Well, actually, maybe not. It depends on how the goggles sit. There's like an entire brand of like sunglasses that is like your entire forehead is covered by like a Pokemon's face.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna copy and paste for no reason whatsoever the description from the SCP file.
Fair enough.
Appears to be average height and weight, dressed head to toe in standard mountaineering gear, wearing has boots colored all in white, their face entirely obscured by the hood of its parka. and what appears to be an oversized pair of opaque black mountain goggles.
Yeah. Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
Been reported to show comforting images to those who lock eyes with him. It is still not known whether the clothes he wears is his actual body
God.
or are they clothes. The SCP Foundation keeps SCP-1529 under its telescope and satellite surveillance when the weather and daylight
Not
permits.
white.
When the SCP-1529 appears to be active, the automatic video feed is recorded.
We
When
don't
the
know its skin color,
SCP-1529
if it even has skin, but we know it's wearing white.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
is inactive and it is safe to go out there, the surveillance is done through helicopter or airplane. Daniel's body is being removed from the mountain and will be brought in for an autopsy. Any deaths caused by the SCP-1529 are attributed to natural causes like oxygen disruption, heart failure, dehydration, or a brain hemorrhage. So Daniel's case will be labeled as dehydration.
Yes, of course. Dehydration.
Yes.
Not what I would call it, but sure.
Yeah.
The SCP Foundation discovered the SCP-1529 in the 1970s. The trend of climbing up the mountains was rising, and numerous people came to climb up Mount Everest. The climbers reported that they have seen a monster on the summit of the mountain. In the year 1999, the Foundation found the ruins of the dead body of George Mallory. A camera was found near the dead body, and pictures showed evidence that SCP-1529 was present, and he is the cause of the death. To keep our records clean, the
Oh.
Foundation reported his cause of death to falling from a height. Many people were also reported dead during these years, and all of the deaths were reported as natural causes.
Wait, hold on. I want to get something correct. I thought they said the camera was never found.
No, the camera was like they found the camera, but they reported publicly that it was never found.
Oh, okay. That's what I was getting confused. Anyways, 3, 2.
The Foundation is keeping SCP-1529 under its surveillance during his active and inactive phases. Usually it remains inactive from 17 minutes to 8 months, with 24 days as the median period. On the other hand, he remains active from 3 hours to 6 days, with 15 hours as the median period. As of now, we don't know the cause of SCP-1529's activity and inactivity. When climbing up the summit, the SCP uses his hands and feet with no supporting equipment. He is able to climb up the mountain with ease. He always stays above 8,000 meters on the mountain, but only came down once, and the incident is known as SCP-1539-1. During this incident, the SCP-1529 was in active phase at night, so the surveillance was not active. SCP-1529 entered Camp V on the northern approach at 7.
Camp V. They don't know Roman numerals. Also, I'm pretty sure Foundation 10s wouldn't look like this.
Probably not.
They look like camps you would go out in the
Really don't look
woods.
Then again, the guy isn't supposed to be wearing blue, so why do they care about accuracy?
7,775 meters. Many casualties occurred of the people monitoring the Camp V.
God.
Why?
Till this date,
What the hell is up with them showing people's spines just randomly showing out the front of their torso?
I don't know.
I don't know.
There's a lot of stuff in the way when you open up the torso like that.
Maybe they
Before
think
you
the
see the
rib
spine.
cage looks the same way as the spine.
I mean, like at the spot on the torso where it was, like I could see them like it being below the rib cage, but like there's still a lot in the way before you get to the spine.
Don't you know, Hedge, in this world, those organs don't exist.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was unaware that Mr. Nezu here doesn't have intestines.
The spine is in front of your body. Your back contains all the squishy organs. That's rando.
Mm. I think apparently we are reverse turtles now.
This is the only documented incident where the SCP-1529 was found below the 8,000 meters mark. Usually, he stays near the summit, also known as the dead zone. SCP also has a surveillance facility in China.
Wait, hold on. I want to see that correctly. Did they?
Come on! Dead zone. Come on, man. Give me a second. Oh shit. Here, give me a
Okay, what the
sec.
content farm did, you just have to glance for a second at the screen. Okay. What did they call the top of Mount Everest? I can see that from here. Do you want me to take a screenshot and send it to you? Okay, I'll do it.
Oh my god.
Are you gonna look at the screenshot?
There is no joke funnier than what is on screen. Also, Hedge, are you changing your name?
No.
Yes, you are.
Hello, everyone. I am Dead
Oh,
Zone.
that's what it says. It says Deep Zone. Deep Zone.
Deep
Deep
zone.
Zone.
Say. Yeah, Deep Zone. You're just having fun with that, aren't you?
I love
Yeah.
Deep Zone.
It's the deepest zone out there. Did you just say it's the deepest zone out there? Yeah.
Alright, anyways, ready to continue?
Hold on. I think it's very important for me to mention I'm making a new Darkest Dungeon save, and I am naming it Deep Zone.
Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
SCP also has a surveillance facility in China. Once the SCP-1529 was in its active phase, and the person was monitoring him, suddenly, the SCP-1529 looked into the telescope and made eye contact with the man. The man had to be rushed to the hospital because he started having symptoms. Soon, another person looked into the telescope, and the same thing happened to him.
That's not what happened, bro. It started having symptoms, and he just starts flexing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also a lot of white people in this.
Especially for the fact that this part takes place in fucking China. Have we seen a single person of color?
No.
To avoid this, SCP Foundation now records the active phases on videotapes. To tell you more about 1529, it targets climbers who are alone. They can either be solo climbers.
Was he just speed walking after him?
Yeah. Also, now I realize there's no woman either. Just Caucasian males.
As we all know, Mount Everest is owned and operated by the white man.
Yeah, isn't it one?
Or those left far behind the group. A person who has made eye contact with the SCP-1529 feels comfortable and warm, even in the lowest temperatures. However, soon the warmth vanishes and turns into a cold that is unbearable. A person who has locked eyes with SCP can only be saved if he is pulled away by another person. Once a man was left behind in a group as he was too tired to move ahead with the group. He saw a man in full white clothes, which was SCP-1529. The man was feeling cold, but as soon as he met the black goggles of SCP-1529, he felt as if he was sitting near a fireplace. Just when the SCP-1529 was about to touch him, another person from the group came and pulled him away. Both of them ran from the SCP-1529.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Oh my gosh, random person. Silly internet people. There are no Asian people in checks notes. The continent of Asia.
Why do these look more like weird Batman signals than people?
Uh, uh, because, next question.
Uh,
And we're almost
they seem
done.
to be in the deep zone.
We have 29 seconds left. We got this.
Okay. The deep zone?
While the SCP-1529 kept on staring in their direction. To those of you who are watching this video, beware of the SCP-1529. Never go climbing alone. At the SCP Foundation, we are doing our part by keeping an eye on the SCP-1529. We have our telescopes and satellite in place to record the activity. Okay, now I think Daniel's body is here. I will go and check it before it completely decomposes. Take care, people.
Go fuck yourself. Before we do any rating on the tier list, not tier list, god damn it. You're rating on the rubric. We got no bingo. But we have contradiction, no author mention, deviated plot, copyrights the video. Oh yeah, technically character removal as well. Wrong SCP design, added unneeded plot, no license.
Yay.
What should we mark removal of character / license?
When you think about all the characters were removed that were in it.
And then they added their own fan versions.
And there was no license or author.
Is that a 4?
What do you think, Hatchet?
I mean, the only, like, there's only really 2 characters removed.
There was only really 2 characters in the file.
Yeah.
Don't have the license.
I think I'd put that as a 3.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was thinking this does not feel like a 4, but technically it checks everything for a 4. 3 sounds better.
Altered / added gore or violence.
Mm. Well, let's see. They depicted decomposing as being a person rapidly having lacerations show up on their bodies.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
I'm-
at least a 1.
yeah, I'm like somewhere between a 1 and a 2. They did show it like repeatedly being like
Aaron, you are
fucking
not going to mark it
lacerations.
0.
No, I just had I wasn't moving my mouse. I just clicked it open, and now it's where it landed.
Okay.
I guess because they repeatedly showed it to
Yeah.
Yeah.
deviates from the plot of the article.
See, this is tricky because the the bullshit startup story feels like it would work. Like, it feels like they were, to the best of their ability, faithfully describing what could happen, but it's
Yeah,
still not something that was directly in the plot.
yeah,
Also, they in removing the two characters in the thing, they removed the log.
True.
yeah.
Um, you know what? Yeah, I think I'd be fine with that getting a 2.
Another
Yeah.
tool. Agreed. Only men in the video such offensiveness.
Well, there was only men in the video. There was uh only
In the
white
file,
people.
there was multiple mentions of Green Boot, which was a dead woman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which they removed.
They removed they just like casually have nothing but white people in Asia.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
So there was no women, and they were all white. Okay,
Hmm.
that's at least a two. But I feel like the two is
Yeah.
twice the two.
I'd be thinking 2.
Only white people in Asia.
Welcome to Asia. Only white folk. I don't trust these people.
Very spicy. Random person said, I don't trust these people. That's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go to the bathroom real quick.
Well, I've
Okay.
got to step away for probably a half hour or so.
Okay.
Oh,
So I'll be back when I get back. Y'all can continue without me.
All right.
Away!
And I'm back.
Welcome back. Had to step away for half an hour.
Yeah, I know. Alright. he stepped away at a very fortunate time. Because the next SCP.
I still can't believe they didn't put any Asian people in the continent of Asia. And
E.
SCP happens entirely in Asia.
Yeah. Alright. The next
Brandon
SCP.
Corcoran's right. They okay.
The next SCP is 4231. Before I read it, I have to read this. Adult content. This article contains adult content and may not be suitable for all readers. Sexual assault features non-consensual sexual acts. Child abuse features several mistreatment of children. If you are 18 or above and wish to read such content, you may continue to view said content. This is known as the Montauk House. Oh my gosh, there's a table of contents.
Also, the following article contains graphic depictions of sexual assault. Taking this warning seriously is advised. Thank you and have a nice day.
Yeah, it's the only footnote. Alright, the table of contents. Meet. Chapter excerpt from the textbook Reality Altering Beings, Socioeconomics, Mental Illness, Diagnostic Criteria published to theme. Wrong and boiling point. Item SCP 4231. December 2nd, 1988. Document 4231 2 A. Excerpt from confiscated document, a curious case of 4231 B. Pigs, 13 different ones. Regarding the Montauk Chamber, excerpt from a confiscated 1994 document, Notes on Montauk. Quote of the Ichiban campaign from someone many people want to kill. Greyhound, Ad Undus, Chestnut. It's related to the person who created the procedure. Random. The 80 hours SB4231-P test notes. That's Dr. Asshole to you. Very stands for an exciting new industry. May 23rd, 1989, on the northern edge of the aquatic containment chamber somewhere in the Pacific Ocean, 2005. Alright. Let's start reading this because this is a long one.
The first one, meet.
Yeah, I know. I got it. We're in person. This is the Montauk House. So I'm assuming his house. Yeah, anyway. Meet. On August 29th, 1989, Commander Richard Abel, I.O., requested to interview Commander Alan Hall, who led the first team of responding Foundation personnel into the town of North Access, Cornwall. After receiving a direct phone call to the response and dispatch office of the Site 34 outpost in the outskirts of London, approximately 1.3 hours south of the city. The interview took place at Site 34, investigation, and interview lab on September 2nd, 1989. IO began to initial line of questioning with Hall regarding the general nature of the radio signal as appearing onto the outpost. Hall indicated that the outpost had received a signal on the main radar sweep at roughly 2,000 hours, 3 days before the initial mission. Hall clarified that he had no teams dispatched at the time of the beacon, and that the radio sweep signaling serviced by the outposts was for responders only and was not serviced by non-founded agents, leading him to believe that the contact was of anomalous origin. Hall consisted of the sound of freshly water. Hall could not recall if any other background noises could be detected in the audio of the radio signal. According to computer error, Hall ended the signal prematurely and returned to attending work. In approximately 800 hours the following day, the main line of the Site 34 outpost received a second signal. Steve might dispatch David Schmidt, who indicated to hold a similar peculiarity, the sound of rushing water. Schmidt indicated in his interviews he was unaware of any distinct noises or background noise. Instructed Schmidt to triangulate the signal, which was narrowed to the general area of North Access Cornwall. Once a location has been determined, the signal was terminated. Holmes stated that he did not believe that there was any changes in the content of the signal by the time of the termination. IO required as to why an investigation was not pursued immediately after the second beacon. Holmes stated that under normal procedure, a non-Foundation beacon is not sufficient to warrant an investigation. The audio being transmitted by the signal showed abnormal background radiation existent with unstable weak human fields.
Aaron,
Yeah,
you suddenly became very quiet.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Guess it was a Discord thing. Guess I'll come out and come back in. I don't know what that was about. Yes.
You still sound quiet to me, but maybe it'll come back louder at some point.
I didn't say anything.
Uh.
I just came back in. I didn't say a word yet.
I heard you breathing.
Maybe you have my volume down or something?
Your volume is the same for me as it was before.
Then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, seeing as I can't turn you up louder, I have to turn everything else louder.
Hall stated that following the two signaling events, he suggested that he take a crew to investigate the address on the signal's tracking, concerned at possible anomalous activity affecting the area. Hall assembled a team consisting of Schmidt, dispatcher, Amy Wheatstone, containment investigator, Ron Schultz, MTF, and Roger Grimsky, technical analyst. The five drove a standard Foundation response vehicle and left the facility at 2,000 hours. Hall reported that because of the size of North Axis, the town was not listed on standard maps and had to be located using Foundation, estimated prior to departure. Alan had worked at a meatpacking plant in college. He hadn't minded it much. Actually, most of what he did was a lot of slicing butchery. And when it really came down to it, that wasn't a terrible way to make a little over minimum wage per hour. What had bothered him was the smell. The meat was killed and skinned next door, and he cut them up fresh in the fridge and hanged the carcasses up on hooks to trim. It was bloody, fresh kind of smell at first, and the meat was actually packaged was relatively fresh, save for a little of that, and all things considered, he could work with the bloody smell. The smell that bothered him came from disposed parts he pulled out with a gloved hand and threw into buckets to his left or right. Entrails, organs, a stomach here, a heart there. The biology part of the job wasn't really something that they taught him in training. What he pulled out was relatively nondescript, without definition, an all-encompassing substance of bloody, homogeneous core. Slice and dice, motherfucker. Open the stomach and out with the guts, like carving a pumpkin. All the nondescript entrails went to the nondescript plastic trash bin. He dreaded when it would get full once or twice a shift. Then the time would come and he would push it on its squeaky wheels over the grinder. Dump it in, let the machine roar, and cough at bits of bone and flesh, and then out would come the pink paste like a bloated, infected finger. A tube of pink shit interlaced with hair and bone between crushed flesh. God knows what they did with it. That would smell. Shit from the entrails, piss from the bladder, blood from everything the fuck else. Another breed of nondescript homogeneous gore. So on that warm August evening, as Alan drove the team into North Axis, he denied smelling it at first because he thought truly that he never smelled it again. But it was there. When he got closer, it got stronger. Hall stated that approximately half a mile from the outskirts of the town, Whetstone inquired to him about the increasing smell permeating in the vicinity, which Hall responded, quote, "Sweet Jesus, it's bodies." Oh. Oh no.
Uh,
Oh my.
Are you actually surprised?
Now, should we God, I don't know, call for backup or something? Asked David with from 2 seats back. The van bounced over a pothole and Alan could hear Amy in the passenger seats suck in a quick breath of fear. Not yet, said Alan. I might be wrong, Ron. You've seen some shit. What do you think? Something rotting, yeah, answered a task force agent sitting directly behind him. He sounded harrowed, but uncertain. But certain. It has to be. Alan nodded slightly, anxiety gnawing at his stomach. The five of them sat in silence. Suddenly, he wished more than anything that he waited until morning for this. The van's brights illuminated the road directly in front of them, flanked by sparse trees and farmland on either side. The road was deserted. How many fucking bodies does it take to smell like that? Whispered Roderick from the far back of the van. And he heard it and almost wished he hadn't, because that was exactly the thought that was churning his insides. How many cows did he have to butcher before the grinder meat happened? 2? 3? And that was relatively frequent to start with. How many fucking bodies did it take to smell it before they even entered the town? I don't know, he responded, because he didn't. He was scared. My god. Oh my god, Alan. He slammed on the brakes just in time to bring the van to a screeching halt, in front of a large, low shape resting on the road. Illuminated by the headlights, Alan was initially terrified because of the sight of fur. The sight of fur he remembered briefly. The parade of cowhides, the matted sight of hair and blood. It was a dead horse, and it was rotting. Chapter excerpt from the textbook Reality Altering Beings, Socioeconomics, Mental Illness, and Diagnostic Criteria, published 2014. Cornwall Incident. What happened? In the early morning of August 1st, 1989, a small team of containment investigators from London entered a small town of North Essex, Cornwall. A town with roughly 1,000 residents with an occult history. After receiving several suspicious calls from this location, upon entering the outskirts of the town, the team quickly encountered a rotting stench so strong they were apprehensive as to their own ability to handle what they might find, and before they are able to enter the town itself, their path is blocked by a dead horse in the road, severely rotted and desiccated. It is at this point that the team calls for backup. By 2 a.m., 3 additional containment vans arrive at the entrance to the town. Together, they are able to remove the animal's body from the road. By 3 a.m., the 4 teams are able to inch forward, roughly a quarter of a mile down the road, before they come across the body of a severely desiccated man in his early 40s. He must move his body to proceed. Dutifully, Commander Hall and his crew drag the rotting body to the side of the road to allow the vehicles to pass. By 4 a.m., Site 34 in London receives word that there are more bodies. By 5 a.m., Site 56 in Ireland is contacted to send additional vehicles. In fact, they're contacted to send in a list of squads. North Axis is now a locked down crime scene and will remain so for the next 6 months. This will become a single most deadly type green massacre in history, with an estimated 1,200 people found dead, 1,000 residents, and 200 GOC responders from Ichibon campaign. Notorious for killing hordes of reality benders throughout the 80s, using a now outdated 4-class Kant-based diagnostic method. No animals in the area remained alive, aside from 8 individuals, 6 pregnant women and a man with a baby, recovered in poor condition. There were signs of heavy flash flooding, but the lake was completely dry. It couldn't have happened more than 3 days before. What happened? The truth, as it would soon become apparent, lay in the heavy romantic interaction between 2 reality benders dubbed A and B by investigators. Oh no. Frog in a boiling pot. 99% of type greens undergo the following sequence of psychological changes as the flowers progress. Phase 1 Denial. The subject refuses to acknowledge their ability to warp reality. The type green will attempt to rationalize away their abilities by various means. In some cases, type green will adhere their ability to self-suppress, and they will not proceed. However, they must proceed to Phase 2 Experimentation. The subject acknowledges their abilities and begins to test the limits of their powers. In general, type greens tend to experiment in one of 2 patterns. Slowly, methodically, and carefully advancing a small amount at a time, or a small number of sudden jumps. In any case, the subject will generally remain in this mode some time before proceeding to Phase 3. Stability. The subject reaches the limit of their powers and determines the boundaries of their abilities. The type green achieves control of their reality shifts and can manipulate them as necessary. More importantly, they can choose not to utilize their abilities if needed. Phase 3 is usually characterized by attempts to live a normal life. The subject will continue in normal routines, and aside from necessary precautions to prevent losing control, they will utilize their abilities only in private and only in a manner that will not harm others. These type greens may be classified as Threat Level 1, Monitored, Do Not Engage, which should be monitored closely due to the risk of proceeding to Phase 4. Phase 4, the Child God. Sadly, the majority of type greens will eventually progress to Phase 4. During this phase, the reality bender becomes obsessed with the power it possesses and will attempt to utilize it for personal gain at the cost of others. This phase is marked by reduced empathy for other humans, and ability to accept personal faults, and increased megalomania. Although warning signs are numerous, the key aspect of a Phase 4 is the use of their abilities to manipulate other humans. Teenage and young adult type greens will typically use their abilities for sexual purposes. Oh no. Oh no. Physics Division Field Manual 13, Special Circumstances, Humanoid Threat Entity. Published 1984. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god. When they were first teenagers, she first touched him. They were lying in bed at his house and it was dark, and Lily knew he wasn't asleep because he was staring at the ceiling. But she did it anyway and maybe pretended that he was asleep. He owed it to her. He owed this to her because it must suck. It must suck to always ask and have him always say no. I want him to always get no as an answer.
Can I have a slight break?
Huh?
Can I have a slight break?
Yes?
I'll be back. I'm gonna get something.
Okay.
I'll be back. I feel like if I don't get a breath or something, my brain might correct me. Okay.
Hey, Rando, when you hear this, you want to see something? I noticed the delay. I hate YouTube's delay. It's so annoying. Rando, you there? Did you really or did Aaron? Sorry. Went to the bathroom, I just got back. Rando, would you like to see something interesting? I got something I can show you. You want to see it? Delay. Okay. It's this. YouTube gives me a bit of the that's just the same. Oh my god. I'm just waiting for Rando to get back from the ad. I don't see anything. Wait, did you not see an ad, Rando? That was the joke. I hit play ad. That was the joke. What the hell? Oh, no ad. What the hell? Why didn't it play the ad? Just heard you laughing in silence for a bit. Is Reno just immune to ads now? Either that or YouTube's broken. Which one's be surprising? Okay. Could I say something I haven't to me today? Sure, go ahead, bud. Because I don't have an A in I'm grade of 89.96%. Okay, that's pretty good. It's not bad. It is a single true or false question away from being an A. Damn. So close. Other than that, I just reread that Punisher comic. Oh, well, that's just great. Count the hole with it, 9mm. I hate that so much. That's not what the first thing I wanted to see when I opened Twitter.
The fuck?
Oh, hey, Hatchet. I am waiting for Cheer to get back. You came back at a really interesting time. But, okay, before I read that, I'm gonna read what happened, the first thing I see on Twitter. The White House says they will identify and neutralize political groups that are anti-American, aka radically pro-transgender and anarchist. Yay! Actually not. Nay. Yeah, we're waiting for Cheer to get back, but basically gotten far. We didn't get very far in Montauk House, but it has like multiple small chapters in it. But it, Phase 4 for Type Green Reality Benders is kind of concerning. Phase 4, the Child God. Sadly, the majority of Type Greens will eventually progress to Phase 4. During this phase, the Reality Bender becomes obsessed with the power it possesses and will attempt to utilize it for personal gain at the cost of others. This phase is marked by reduced empathy for other humans, an ability to accept personal faults, and increased megalomania. Although warning signs are numerous, the key aspect of Phase 4 is the use of their abilities to manipulate other humans. Teenage and young adult Type Greens will typically use their abilities for sexual purposes.
I guess that tracks.
So yeah, we just got to that part.
Fun.
We're just waiting for Jir to get back.
Question, what was the article you saw on the Twitter?
It's from Pop Base. It actually came. Oh my god! Actually. Oh. Oh my god, there's 16 pages talking about this. I'll just send you the tweet, Hatchet. There are 16 pages. I do not feel like reading it at this point in time.
Let me see.
Back.
Ah, you're back, Jerry. Welcome back.
E.
Now back to the part where someone is going to rape their unconscious boyfriend.
Oh god. He didn't have to point it out like that.
Why do you think I had to step away?
Oh my god. I'll reread the part so I can get it fully. Alright. When they were teenagers, she first touched him. They were lying in bed at his house and it was dark, and Lily knew he wasn't asleep because he was staring at the ceiling. But she did it anyway, and maybe pretended that he was asleep. And he owed it to her. He owed this to her because it must suck. It must suck to always ask and have him always say no. To want him and always get no as an answer. Sometimes you need to make compromises. He tells himself in a relationship. Sometimes you need to let it happen for the other person's sake. So it was raining outside and she touched his chest. There was rain on the roof and rain on the windows, and she touched his hips. There was rain on the street and clouds in the sky, and she touched him right below the elastic band of his boxers. Manicured nails and tips of his fingers. Oh my god. The light post outside casts a light through the rain, and she touches the hair between his legs, and his art picks up the speed, and at the time he thought it was arousal, but would learn later in his life that it was fear, and would also learn that there's a fine, fine line between the two. She goes down a little further, and he feels everything. Touches the soft skin of the space between his thigh and his crotch. His heart beats fast and his chest hurts. And then she slides up to two of her fingers and touches him and he lets her because he owes this to her. He owes this to her. Owes this to her. You need to be able to do some things for love. No, dude, run.
Uh,
My god. Okay. I can read
just
this.
so everyone knows who is watching, no one owes sex to anyone, even if you're dating.
This things for love. Her fingers are on his penis now, and he thinks, be aroused, get turned on, you're lucky to have her. She goes up to him, blonde hair and thin body in the rain outside, sleeping in her jeans, urging her body against strips of orange lamplight filtering through the blinds. You need to do something. Okay, I'm just gonna say this right now. This is not gonna show up in the content form video.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Her entire hand is down his pants now, and there is a hot white fear of 1,000 lines crossed that keeps him pinned in place like a deer in headlights. He feels frozen. Heart pounds at her silhouette. For a moment, she looks like a predator to him. It's like something skeletal and powerful. Something with a mouth full of canine teeth. And just when she touches the head of his penis, it comes rushing in so quickly that his ears ring. He grabs her arm a bit too harshly, too carelessly, too quickly. Actual heck is the concept I'm gonna make this one? I don't know, random. Francis uses Lily. Looking back, he sees this as their first encounter. First time she enters what he would know in another life to be phase 2. The phase of power, of control. She's a goddess, and that isn't a good thing. For a second, Francis thinks she's about to throw him off for even daring to touch her. Her eyes are obscured in the light of, and the ridges of her spine are poking out one by one. All the way down her back, just under her skin, she takes his other hand to her own hip, under her shirt, and he can feel the top of her panties numbly through the buzzing days, but it does not feel like he wants it to feel. And he hates it. He hates it. I feel so bad for this fucker. It keeps getting worse the more I read.
I understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
When you're experiencing something, sometimes because of that something, everything remotely connected to it feels wrong.
Yeah.
I assume that would be worse, especially when it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to make himself feel better, but he can't because he doesn't want it.
Francis, she says when he struggles, trying to work his hand back from under hers against her side, and this time it's a warning. Her other hand is still on his cock, frozen, and the whole world is intensified too, bright, saturated with hazy light of numb fear like pinworms under his skin, wriggling, jolting. Her other hand sliding his own right under the ridge of her panties. There's a silhouette of horns, like when they were children, but it was just a bare outline, like a shadow against the back wall, like a red outline from the orange window light that starts to flicker. That's Ryan Reynolds, I want SCP. Oh my god. His chest feels heavy and his soul feels compressed and the world feels stunned. And all he thinks is how quickly this happened and how quickly they grew up recreating scenes from Poltergeist and changing the channels on the radio with their minds and bending pennies without touching them and you with your horns and hooves when you wanted them and you with your mouth filled up with teeth and you with your hunger stronger than his would ever be, and that should have been the first indication. Looking back, that Francis should have run from her with her angry silhouette, with water-dropped shadows, and her with her tongue that grew sharper and pierced ever so slightly deeper as they grew, and her with her 1,000 eyes when he only had 3, and her with her hand around his cock that night with the rain. But Francis was young, and he didn't know better. Francis trusted her more than anyone. Francis might have even loved her in a strange, fearful way, because Francis didn't run then. And Francis never would until it ended 5 years later. He yanked her hand from his boxers. She did not talk to him for another week, but he feels her manicured nails and fingertips for a year afterward. He sleeps with his legs crossed for longer. Damn!
Um, that
Alright.
was very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Now, for the next chapter. Item SCP-4231. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. 4231 exists inside Containment Area 4231. Containment Area 4231 is to be surrounded by a 4-mile-long fence under the guise of government occupation. The front and back doors of 4231 are to be replaced by Class 6 metal containment doors, and all windows on the first floor are to remain boarded up to prevent entry. The warning wasn't lying. Yeah, it wasn't. The entrance to 4231-2 is being contained by a 34-foot by 34-foot plywood slab placed over the lake bed opening disguised as a sinkhole repair mechanism. Dash 2 is only to be accessed via the basement of 4231. 2317 is to be removed and placed in a separate foundation containment. Wait, oh my gosh. So this is where 2317 came from.
Oh,
If anyone doesn't know what 2317 is, that's the door to the World Destroyer.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's where this came from. Or a reality where this came from. I should say. Description: 4231 is a 3-story house in residential business building in the former town of North Axis, Cornwall, previously inhabited by 2 tight green entities, Dash A and Dash B. Dash A is a 5'7" female, 28 years old, 150 pounds, fair skin, brown eyes, blonde hair, recently pregnant at the time of death, died of a single gunshot wound to the head, body found in an upstairs bedroom of 4231. Portrayed as the abuser of Dash B and all recent traumatic imprinting events. Oh. Dash B is a 5'3" male, 27 years old, 145 pounds, fair skin, one eye blue, one eye green, blonde hair at the time of recovery, exhibits extreme mental distress, not able to speak to responders coherently, nose repeatedly broken, blunt
uh,
One for scars on the back of the head, back, shoulders, buttocks, repeatedly vomiting water, blood. Can't counter readings indicate level 4 at the time of rescue. Readings reconciled to level 3 after sequence hospitalization. There's signs of heavy psychological trauma following recovery. Authorized for containment monitoring parole. With the confines of the Foundation on January 6, 1990. Yeah.
uh,
The effects of 4231 are referred to as a direct result of violent and extended tight green occupation of the building, compounded by the effects of the activation of 2317. Initially located in Dash 3, directly above the lake bed of North Axis, Starting Town shows signs of extreme flash flooding and decay, and, redacted, not been occupied since Incident 4231 Cornwall, is under recent development. The lake itself is entirely drained of water, and the town of North Axis has remained a consistent, isolated drought affected area since 1989. 4231 sits on top of the lake side of containment area 4231. Consists of a top-story apartment, a ground-level shop area appearing to be that of a local florist, and a basement which extends into the earth under an adjacent lake to join with the chamber of 2317 via a narrow passageway. The top floor of 4231, designated -2, shows extensive type green traumatic imprinting to which it owes its anomalous properties. This pocket dimension is considered the most complete case study on imprinting to date. It is widely studied and referenced in conjunction with issues regarding type green psychology, violence, and mental illness. -2 consists of a kitchen, a bathroom, a bedroom, a nursery, a living room, and an interconnecting hallway. Activity within -2 varies intensity with time, with seemingly little pattern. List of events referred to document -A. This basement of 4231 is an unfinished basement housing miscellaneous storage, behind which an entryway to -3 is hidden. -3 is a tomb structure dating to medieval Europe that lies under lake bed of North Axis, Cornwall, bridge to a stone staircase ascending from the basement of 4231. It consists of 11 sections. 3-1 through 7, 5 by 5 meter uniform stone cells with oh yeah, no, alright, I got confused for a second. 5 by 5 meter uniform stone cells with iron doors, originally contained 231-2 through 7. Okay, the Children of the Scarlet King. Okay, this gets even worse. Blacks were initially impenetrable through non-anomalous means. 6 days after initial discovery, climatological specialists succeeded in damaging the locks in a maneuverable degree, allowing all of 231 instances to be evacuated. Doors had deliberately been left unlocked for the remainder of the structure's containment.
Uh,
3-8. Door frame of 2317. 2317 was removed and transported to proper containment shortly after recovery, leaving an unremarkable stone wall. It appears as if 2317 was always regarded as an interdimensional portal as opposed to an adjoining room and was affixed with no further structure inside. 3-9 Artifact Room. Room sealed with 2 identical iron doors. Extensive archaeological research and cataloging has been undertaken in the ninth chamber. Roughly 1,943 separate artifacts recorded. Notable artifacts include exactly 500 human bones decorated with various strings and fabric. The bone and types of wrapping vary widely throughout the collection. 7 heavily decorated ritual altars and elaborate carvings of a one-eyed horned beast thought to resemble 2317. 3-10 30-meter long stone hallway lit intermittently with torches, various carvings depicting scenes from the Erikesh Codex adorn the walls. 11 stone staircase extending from the basement of 4231. It is unknown how -3 came to be attached directly to the 4231 house, which records show was built in early 1974. This raises the suspicion that -3 may be an intricate replication or creation by -A based on the text of the Erikesh Codex. This theory has not been disproved nor confirmed, similarly poorly understood as how -3 remains entirely unflooded and undamaged. Course of the Cornwall incident, thus protecting all 231 instances from harm, this effect too is poorly understood. The ground floor of 4231 is an inert flower shop. The next chapter, December 2nd, 1988. He arises from bed in the early hours of the morning when Lily is beside him, but the baby has not kicked yet for the first time. He still feels what she's done to him. She did to him in the dust by the water bruises down his back. Then on his pelvis, then he didn't want to look that closely at himself. It's the first time he's gotten out of bed in 2 days. He feels disconnected, like his arms aren't his arms and he exists slightly to the left of his body. It's the first time he's experienced that sensation since the night on the lake shore. Not the last time he will experience it. Francis stands near the bedroom door for a moment, trying to decide if the rain in his ears is real or not. Then if his body is real or not. He isn't sure where he's going, but when he opens the door to the bedroom into the hallway, he finds that there isn't any place to go. The bathroom door across the hall has disappeared. The kitchen to the left is gone. If they ever existed in the first place, he wonders, but Francis is not one for wondering to check. Not now. Hello? He calls absently, soft and confused. The word doesn't sound like his own. It echoes, hello? 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 And if his voice hits a boundary somewhere far in the hallway, it's extended past the house, past the tomb, past the lake, past North Axis, into a place he's constructed without knowing it, where the water expands into an endless tide into where all roads in his life now end. He does not hear it, and if Lily hears it, she doesn't stir. If anything else were to hear it, well, on to the next chapter. Document 4231-2-A. Vent tight auditory. Asian kitchen. Argument lasting 2 minutes, 34 seconds. Brief dispute concerning finances. Auditory. Bathroom. Passing insult lasting 3 seconds in a laughing tone. Physical. Living room fireplace. Papers appearing to be some form of college schoolwork materialized along with fire and hearth, burns approximately 3 hours before burning out. Auditory. Bedroom. Passing comment lasts 10 seconds, regards B's weight in conjunction to the relationship between A and B. Auditory and physical. Kitchen. Argument lasting approximately 10 minutes, 24 seconds. Culminates in several comments from A regarding B's apparent undesirability to both outside romantic and platonic interests alike. Imprint ends with bedroom door slamming shut. Auditory and physical. Kitchen. 5-second apparition of a plate materializing then smashing on a northern counter. Auditory. Bathroom. 1 hour, 14-minute argument of A insisting B tell her the truth. Physical. Bedroom. Blood spouting appears to be on the left side of the bed, manifests for an average of 19 minutes at a time. Physical. Bedroom. Physical bathroom. Corpse of severely mutilated adult female Maine Coon cat materializes hung from the shower curtain rod. Cat arrives for approximately 3 minutes, 23 seconds before ceasing vital signs. Cat remains hanging from the rod for approximately 43 hours, 21 minutes before dematerializing. What the fuck?
Oh,
Physical. Hallway. Hallway extends indefinitely on either end, manifests in night hours only for an average of 10 hours and 34 minutes. Physical. Entirety of -2 structure. Entire -2 structure begins to replicate continuously upwards in a repeating pattern. End of the hallway will attach with entryway leading from the ground floor, if 4231 upwards, etc. Replicates continuously for approximately 80 hours before the effect ends. Physical. Bedroom window followed by entire 4231 structure. Initial events seen from bedroom window. Two figures, A and B, are seen on the beach below. 4231 figures walk along the shoreline for 12 minutes, 17 seconds before sitting down on a rocky portion of the shore, with A sitting on the left of B. Figures talk for 5 minutes, 20 seconds before A begins kissing B. B appears receptive. A positions herself on her side, facing B. A places one hand on the right hip of B. A reaches for the waistline of B. B pulls backwards and speaks to A. A responds and undoes B's belt. B appears to laugh and speak to A, to which A responds seriously. A undoes the belt of B. B attempts to unbuckle the belt, which figure A. A places left leg over the legs of B in a straddling position. B is forcefully pushed onto the rock. B was in an airport in Tucson, Arizona in 1995 on a layover and was about to leave the bar when he spotted an episode of Law and Order playing on this shitty overhead TV. The man in the episode claimed he had been sexually aroused. B was certain that certain events that occurred to B were in conjunction with sex, and that sex simply hurt in a way that it hurt for him. Now, it occurred to B until Law and Order episode playing on the shitty airport TV that certain factors affecting his mental health, Colin being abused for 7 years by his high school sweetheart, were connected to said events, because he was not entirely sure that he hated A for what she had done. Sometimes B still loved A because A had insisted that she had been doing certain things for B for his own good. Now, B had no one, and when he had been with A, he had someone, and it hadn't always been bad. So the TV in Tucson made him start thinking about what could have been possible. It occurred to B that perhaps he had been generally mistreated, and more importantly, that perhaps he had been raped. It also briefly occurred to him that the containment crew examining the house he had lived in for 7 years, in contact with her, had seen this event that he so desperately wanted to forget to play out in extreme detail hundreds, maybe thousands of times, that he had felt terribly ashamed and embarrassed about others knowing. Because although he was called B in the containment procedures, he was still called in once a year without fail to be tested and badgered about his experiences in a house of the name of science. That he would really rather not discuss the things A had done to him at all. Or she could leave the foundation and get a job at Walmart somewhere. That being said, B wasn't entirely sure that A had mistreated him at all, because B wasn't one to open up with many people and therefore had not experienced a tremendous number of things, good or bad. Next time B woke up with the marks A had made on his body in 1989, renewed in fresh blood on his body in 1995. He considered that perhaps there was a reason his powers acted out the things he felt in the way they did, and he felt a little relieved. He also felt terrified. That aside, when A rises from B-2 fills entirely with water over the course of 79 hours before dematerializing. Jesus fucking Christ, B. Next chapter. Answer from a confiscated document, the curious case of 4231-B. Then, of course, there is B. Foundation never seems to know exactly what to do with B. Basic type Green, who trapped himself at the top of the Montauk house with his newborn child to escape the ritual floods. Sits in a gray area between something attainable and an instant bystander caught up in something he could not control. B, upon interviewing, is not aware of 231 or 2317, or quite frankly, even 4231. Rarely construct he was accidentally created to escape the abuse inflicted by his closest childhood friend. When the initial teams reach 4231, a chase ensues. They run B down through miles of repeated passageways and winding corridors, searching from the roof of 4231. It simply expands it further. When the teams find out they are no longer able to contact base and North Axis, they smoke him out with sleeping gas and drag him back to the world of living. There's debate among the teams on the ground at whether or not he should be handcuffed onto the stretcher they hold him on. This is the first debate of many.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
How far along into the SCP are we?
I think they're only going to cover the house part. Right here. I don't think they're going to go through everything we're reading right now.
Yeah.
I think at this point we just go to the video, and if we want to check something, we can go click one of these.
That's a good idea. This is rough.
Yeah. This is definitely going to be the last SCP of the night.
You there, Jerry?
Jerry? Should I say
Should
the
I
plot?
say
Sure, I
I
guess.
guess.
Jerry, you
Oh,
there?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I walked away briefly to do laundry. I thought there was still a lot left.
We decided
yeah.
to just stop right there. Because they're most likely not going to go that far. And also, the guy was actually Dr. Clef before he changed his name to Clef. Oh. Oh, that's right. He said 3 eyes. Clef has 3 eyes in different color,
You
too.
didn't get it?
No, I didn't
The
get it at
story
first.
matched perfectly with his story of how he had his daughter.
That. My God. Jesus.
The mom may have done the bad touches to him, but the daughter is here.
Jesus Christ. I thought this story was always consensual. I didn't know it wasn't.
There's multiple stories suggesting it was never remotely consensual.
I didn't see those stories.
His lore is filled with how unconsensual it was.
His daughter is actually named and linked to in the article. Oh.
Even like in the older times when the Foundation sometimes had some iffy stuff up, it was always canonically the bad touch.
Anyways, we ready to see the thumbnail before we start the video?
Oh no,
Yeah,
man.
sure. How do they treat, Clef being young and getting bad hurt and all the other bad stuff and the corpses and sure.
Just the house.
Uh,
Honestly, I don't know if I can find much fault with this.
it's a 0 to me,
Yeah.
but I still don't like it.
Alright. Oh, what the fuck?
What? What?
Someone got a little too avant-garde with their Minecraft build.
What?
Huh? This is red though.
I think it broke my brain a little.
Do they contain important things? No.
Oh, you
Why
think?
would they contain important things?
Oh,
Honestly, oh, apparently. Oh, right here. Hello, my friends. I have a problem in my channel, which will destroy my channel. Usually don't send notifications to my subscribers, so please share this video with your friends and social media. No.
Have you considered just deleting the internet and moving on with your life?
would you like to see the thing the content farm put before we watch it?
I'm not
But
going to.
look, the house. It's just a house.
300%,
How can it hurt you? It's a house.
300% says, I feel like I'm not going to even find this ironically funny. I think I'm just going to hate it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that
Wait,
tracks.
are you leaving the room? You.
So let
That's
me.
true. Go eat dinner.
When we read the description, it's just a normal fucking house. It's not whatever the fuck this is. I mean, I wouldn't say normal fucking house. There's random shit happening inside of it, but you know what I mean.
I'm
The
sorry,
house
random
itself is
person.
totally ordinary.
Yeah.
Like, so, I guess we'll give ourselves a content warning. We do not know if it still contains the bad touch or the death, but it might. Who knows how much death or bad touch it has?
All right. Now 3, 2, 1.
Dark figure slowly approached the tall house under the moonlit night. Joan, Ethan, and James, the three friends,
What?
were obviously afraid, but it was already too late to chicken out now. So they walked even closer and paused only when they had arrived at the door of the house. All the windows were boarded up, and in front of the old house was a heavily secured metallic door that didn't look like it belonged to a building as decrepit as it was. Are you guys sure about this? I don't want to spend the rest of my life in jail, Ethan asked.
Let's be honest here. They would be captured immediately by the Foundation.
This makes no sense.
Yeah. They actually would have gotten close.
Guys, are you sure we should trespass on the murder house? Always thought Clef's ex deserved death. I still think this, but more now. Valid.
At least the daughter is nice.
3, 2, 1.
Trembling. Clearly the most anxious of them all, he'd been the first to kick against the idea when James brought the first lead. Or killed by a vengeful poltergeist, duh, Joan responded, making a face. Ethan couldn't hide his fear now. His chattering teeth made sure of that. James, who had been quiet as he assessed the metal door, finally spoke. A little peace and quiet, guys. I'm trying to think here, he said, looking at the map he was holding in his hands and back at the guarded door. And quit the chattering, Ethan. You're in all the way already. Besides, look at this door. We're definitely on the verge of uncovering something big here. Okay, Daddy, Ethan and Joan chorused. James sighed and walked away from the door towards the dried lake adjacent to the apartment. At the edge of the desiccated lake bed lay an opening concealed by a plywood
lake.
slab.
Yeah.
The dry.
That's the size of a pond.
Yeah.
The pond.
The
We've got
dry
a whole-
pond they decided in the lake so they can put other houses near it.
And then they, we just got this hole with a piece of plyboard over it.
Yeah.
I'm going to comment they know what size a lake is supposed to go. Remember the thumbnail with the lake?
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, obviously. But you see, they probably have a different person doing the thumbnail and the actual artwork.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
It looked like it was left there to repair a sinkhole. James knew that it was all for show. The one single weakness of this heavily secured site, according to the tip he had received, it was the entry into the old house. Over here, come help me with this, he called out to the two. They joined James.
So, a fun fact, the Death Star's one weak point was something that was purposefully put there by someone who worked on the Death Star and wanted to have it have a way to be destroyed. What logic does it make for the SCP Foundation to be putting their own fucking exhaust port for this ragtag group of Scooby-Doo wannabes to come barging into their murder house?
Yeah.
I don't think anything like this popped up that we read. I don't think there's a mysterious hole near the house that leads into the house that literally anyone can access.
Probably not. It sounds really fucking stupid.
Can you click wrong SCP? Oh, you already did.
Yeah, I already did it at the very beginning of the video. Anyways, 3, 2, 1.
In prying the slab open, and after a brief struggle, were successful. Beneath the slab, they saw a manhole. It was dark all the way down, eerily dark. You guys go ahead. I'll be out here looking out in case we've got company, Ethan suggested. James didn't waste a second before he turned on his...
To feel like the same old, but it feels different and more offensive when it's an SCP like this.
I finished the story. It's bad. I mean, I figured if it involves Children of the Scarlet King in it, but obviously
Is there
it's bad.
anything important we should have looked at random?
We wait for Random's answer. We'll keep watching the video. Oh, when I gather, Clef was turned into a rowdy anchor, forgetting everything except what happened to him in the house.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh,
Jesus Christ!
Oh, his entire childhood wiped out because he needed to be a reality anchor. But don't worry, he remembers the bad touch.
It's an I'm still skimming through. Jesus Christ. I want to continue the
Oh.
video.
His torch and descended the ladder that led into the hole. Joan did too, and Ethan, realizing that it was riskier to be out in the open all by himself, soon followed suit. As they descended, the air got thicker, and it seemed like the surrounding darkness was swallowing the light. When they all landed, they looked around and realized they were now in the basement of the house. In their current environment were all sorts of miscellaneous things you'd find in a regular basement. They looked around for a while. Ethan remained nervous, dropping his flashlight every now and then.
My God.
Gather around, guys. We're here to document a haunted house, not treasure hunt, James said. All right, so what's the plan now? Joan asked. We'll go up there, split up, and look around the house. I hope you brought your maps and recorders. Everyone retrieved their recorders and maps from their bags and walked up the stairs leading out of the basement into the ground floor of the house.
Wait, now that I realize, how the fuck do they have maps of the house?
They shouldn't.
The only way any of this makes even the slightest sense is assuming this is before the Foundation had containment of the house. Which, like, by timeline standards, how? How,
Yeah.
though?
Yeah, especially since everything in like that, like we read ahead, like you, Miss Hatch, everything was just carcasses around that area.
Mm.
Everyone was just dead. There was like 1,200 people dead in that city. 200 of them were GOC operatives.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah. Me too.
So anyway, time for spooky fucking uh urban exploration.
Mhm.
The ground floor was a flower shop, but there were no more flowers in the long deserted space. Just broken bits of pieces of vases and other basic furniture. Just as they'd heard, it looked like a really angry ghost lived there. The trio split up as planned and started with the investigation.
You're an idiot.
A female voice said and then laughed.
You're
Everyone
an
paused.
idiot.
Was that you, Joan? James asked. Wait, you heard that too? Joan responded. I did. It sounded like it came from up there, Ethan said, panicking as he pointed towards the top floor of the house. Coming here was a bad idea, guys. I knew it, he continued. Get over it, Ethan. The only bad idea was bringing you along, James joked. I think it's time we went up there to see our mystery lady of the house. You guys are crazy. I'm not going anywhere, Ethan said, folding his arms. Fine. Just make yourself useful by taking some more photos down here, Joan said as she hurried behind James up the stairs. It was obvious that the top floor was the living space of the house. James and Joan walked cautiously through the hallway to the living room. It looked as rough as the rest of the house and had the telltale signs that it had been long deserted too.
Wait, what the fuck is this thing right here in front of the
Oh,
fireplace?
hello, bear carpet that's been
It's their
turned
version of a bear rug. It doesn't exactly look well.
It looks like some fucked up Pokemon that I'd dream up in a fever dream.
There was a flower shop and house, it seems. Yeah, it was on the ground floor. Flower shop was on the ground floor, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
Yeah. What the fuck is that thing?
That makes a bit more sense why the living room would be upstairs.
Yeah.
This made it really strange when the
Never in basement.
Yeah.
fireplace lit up as if it sensed their presence.
Why?
Both friends were startled, especially because the fire kept burning brighter. They approached the fireplace slowly, and that's when they heard the same voice coming from one of the rooms. It sounded like it was mocking them. If they had been
What?
trying to hide their fear, they couldn't anymore. This wasn't anything like any of the fake haunted houses they'd been to before. By now, Ethan had climbed up to the top floor to join his colleagues. In the hallway, he could hear voices of his friends coming from the bedroom, so he headed there, still scared of being alone. "I can't believe you left me alone down there," he said as he got into the room. But instead of Joan and James, two completely different people stood before him. They weren't just people. He was sure they were the ghosts that haunted the house. And as he turned around to escape the room, the door slammed shut behind him.
Huh?
The two heard the door slam, accompanied by the loud, repeated banging against it. They rushed towards the disturbance while calling out to Ethan. Halfway through the hallway, they could hear Ethan's voice muffled by his banging on the bedroom door. The previously silent house was now alive with a sudden disturbance. When they got to the door, they tried to force it open, but it wouldn't budge. "Keep trying. I'll go check the kitchen to see if I can get something to crack this open with," James said as he hurried back towards the living room.
Okay. Oh. Jesus Christ. Okay. We now know why everyone was dead in the city. Random person says, okay, so the entire town was burned and boiled alive in a mix of lava, water, and blood. Oh.
Fun.
The entire town was dead, but I didn't know it was dead through lava, blood, and water.
Yeah.
That explains why people described it as a hellscape. Yes.
Hey. Also, none of the events that were characterized said that they harmed anyone. They're just things you could see. Three, one.
The banging stopped suddenly. "Ethan?" Joan called out. "Ethan?" But there was no response. She waited a few more seconds before twisting the doorknob once more. The door clicked open instantly this time. Trembling, she walked slowly into the room. On the single bed inside the room, she saw some signs of bleeding, but no Ethan. She heard the sounds
Oh
of
my
plates
God.
smashing in the kitchen, and she hoped to God that James was fine. She kept calling out to Ethan but heard no response. Instead, she heard whispers coming from the bathroom. Frightened now more than ever before, she tiptoed towards the bathroom. What she saw in the bathroom made her scream out loud. Ethan was laid unconscious on the floor. It looked like he had hit his head hard on the tiled bathroom floor. A pool of blood gathered around it. Joan rushed to him in tears and kept crying as she tugged at him, begging him to wake up. She wondered why James...
So I just now clicked alter / added violence because they somehow added it.
It just
How? The SCP was already violent in a very fucked up way. Oh my gosh, random person has more information about how the entire town died. Apparently that occurred while she was giving birth. Shortly after she gave birth to her daughter, Close shot her to prevent her from dying in the flood. Yeah, somehow it had. What is... How?
So Clef shot her to save the daughter. He really didn't. He really had no intention of saving himself, did he?
No.
That's dark. Oh, fudge.
Three, two,
That's fucking.
one.
had not joined her yet, so he called out to him desperately to no avail. It was how she didn't hear the cat's first meow. She was
What?
quiet by the second time, and when she looked up, she saw the mangled body of a distressed cat hanging from the shower curtain rod. She screamed in fear and dashed out of the bathroom, leaving Ethan's body behind.
Oh,
Now out of the room, she called out to James once more. Still no reply. She ran towards the living room. As she ran, she couldn't help but notice that it was taking her longer to get to the living room. She ran and ran, but it seemed like the hallway was not going to end, and she wasn't going to get to James. She didn't understand what was happening, but she kept running forward, and the hallway kept stretching before her. As she was running for several minutes, it dawned on her what Ethan had said, that coming to the house was a big mistake.
Alright, Random just gave up another thing, and it says he goes on to say that he deserves a boil for killing his best friend. Jesus Christ. This SCP is dark, and they're butchering it
I will
immensely.
say it's the SCP file, not this bullshit shit, does accurately depict someone who's been abused. If they get to condition you long enough, you'll do just about anything. And it takes a lot to knock someone out of it. Apparently, what knocked Clef out of it was his daughter's life being at risk.
Yeah.
And he regrets not being knocked out of it sooner and blames himself, which
And then he remembered his crying daughter in his arms and stayed in the house for 80 hours, doing what he could to keep her alive. Oh. Damn. Continuing with the video.
This house was definitely haunted, and whatever was haunting it was not going to let them leave there alive for disturbing its peace.
What?
She sank to the floor and wept profusely. As if on cue, the whole house started to rumble and shake like there was an earthquake. But it was no earthquake. When she looked up, she saw that the ceiling had disappeared, and in its place were exact replicas of the floor she was on, continuously stretching upwards beyond heights she could possibly imagine. She screamed and passed out. Through the recorder hanging around her neck, you could see the transformation ceaselessly continuing. It was no hallucination. Whatever was happening in real time. SCP-4231 exists inside Containment Area 4231. It is a Euclid-class SCP. Euclid-class SCPs are anomalies that require more resources to contain completely, or where containment isn't always reliable.
No. No. Euclid means we are unsure, like using the box method, we're unsure whether or not it can break out of the box. That does not mean what the fuck you just said. Then more describes Keter, or Keter, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not the only one realizing it's like calling out on this bullshit, right?
I don't fucking know, man. This is so incomprehensible.
I've been watching this, but it doesn't seem like it lines with the SCP in any way.
So is this gonna get straight up fours, except for the thumbnail?
Guess
The
we'll
thumbnail
find
was
out.
fine.
It's not over.
Yeah. We only have about 3 minutes left. 3, 2, 1.
This usually happens when the SCP is not understood or inherently unpredictable.
That's
Euclid
correct.
is the object class with the greatest scope.
What?
An SCP will typically be labeled this class if it doesn't quickly fall into any of the other standard object classes. It is a 3-story house
No?
and residential business building in the former town of North Access, Cornwall, previously inhabited by 2 reality benders, formerly known as Type Green entities, SCP-4231-A and SCP-4231-B. SCP-4231-A is a 28-year-old female measuring 5 feet 7 inches and weighing 150 pounds. She has fair skin, brown eyes, and blonde hair. It was discovered that she was pregnant at the time of death due to a single gunshot wound to the head. Her body was discovered in the top floor bedroom of SCP-4231. She is shown as the abuser of SCP-4231-B.
What the fuck? Okay, next message. Oh. What was that?
Why did they give her that face?
I don't know.
I guess that's the abuser face.
Oh, wait, I already read that. I don't.
I thought that was the face that some animations put on people for laughs.
Yeah.
But this is not a laughing subject.
No, it is
That's
not.
why I think it's so weird. Why did they put the humor face on her?
Wait,
No.
how?
Huh?
Wait, what?
Well,
How is
there's
this
a
a
lot of
humor face?
animes and cartoons that when someone is considered like to be feeling a certain way, they give them the weird masculine face. And sometimes they do it right before the person gets very serious and starts beating the shit out of someone. But I do not think it's appropriate here.
There?
I don't, I don't know, man. I just took this as them badly trying to depict someone being sinister.
Yeah. That that can also be true. Let's continue in 3, 2, 1.
In all of the resident traumatic imprinting events observable in 4231-2. SCP-4231-B, on the other hand, is a 27-year-old male measuring 5 feet 3 inches in height and weighing 145 pounds. He has brown hair and is also fair-skinned. He has obvious signs of heterochromia, as one eye is blue while the other one is green. At
What do
time
you
of
mean
recovery,
obvious
he
signs
exhibited
of heterochromia? If he's got two different eye colors, then he just has heterochromia. It's not obvious signs of it.
Yeah. Anyways,
Ugh.
3, 2, 1.
is blue while the other one is green. At time of recovery, he exhibited extreme mental distress, not being able to speak to responders coherently. His nose looked broken, and he had blunt force scars on the back of his head, back, shoulders, and buttocks. He also repeatedly vomited water and blood. Containment area.
So, I don't feel comfortable how they depicted that.
I
It
s-
sounds
we-
almost like oh,
ugh.
I didn't like that.
Stop government occupation. I mean, that's fair, random.
Monetize it.
That's
Yeah.
fair, Rand.
We're almost done. 1.
4231 is surrounded by a 4-mile-long fence under the guise of government occupation. SCP-4231 sits at the top of the Lakeside Containment Area 4231 and consists of a top-story apartment, a ground-level shopping area appearing to be that of a local florist, and a basement, which extends into the earth under the adjacent lake that joins with the chamber of SCP-2317, also known as SCP-4231-3, via a narrow passageway. The front and back doors of SCP-4231 are secured by Class 6 metal containment access doors, and all windows on the first floor are boarded up. The top floor of SCP-4231,
Oh my God.
designated SCP-4231-2, shows extensive type green traumatic imprinting,
Bro,
to which it owes its
bro.
anomalous.
Why do we have to keep depicting the abuse victim as a zombie?
I don't know.
This is just
This is gross in a way none of the other content farms ever got.
well, I feel we've seen similar levels of grossness in other content farms.
Probably in SCP Chronicles.
Yeah.
We've
But
seen similar sort of things, but not like this.
Fair.
uh,
3, 2.
And that's why
Hmm?
I was just saying, and that's why it's just going a few steps further than any of the other content farms while being smaller than all of them.
Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1.
Properties. SCP-4231-2 is only to be accessed via the basement of SCP-4231. The entrance to SCP-4231-2 is contained by a 34-foot by 34-foot plywood slab placed over the lakebed opening, disguised as a sinkhole repair mechanism. SCP-4231-2 is only to be accessed via the basement of SCP-4231. The mind-warping effects of SCP-4231 are a direct result of violent and extended type green occupation of the building. Pocket Dimension is considered the most complete case study on imprinting to date, and is widely studied and referenced in conjunction with issues regarding type green psychology, violence, and mental illness. The ground floor of SCP-4231 is an inert flower shop. Well, that's all for now. We've come to the end of this video, and we hope you've learned a lot about the curious nature of this SCP. Until next time.
SCP you
Actually,
butchered.
you've told us barely anything about it.
Also, I like how they wrongfully said it was in the basement, but at the end say, "Oh no, it's at the ground level." You already lied about where it was. You don't get to fix yourself after.
Anyways, on the bingo board, we did not get a bingo. But we got no license, wrong SCP design, deviated plot, ableism, copyrights the video, edit on the plot, added such altered violence somehow, and no author mentioned. So removal of, huh?
Sorry, you speak.
I was gonna say removal of character / license.
There was a lot of characters removed, and enough where I don't know how to quantify it.
I didn't do the license or any link at all, so that's already a 2.
Hmm.
There's so many foundation staff that talk back and forth between each other, talking about like horseshit stuff like, was Clef really a victim? I know they used his original name, but like, she's dead. And then they're like, yes, he was. They're like, I don't know. We got to check the
Yeah.
body first, and we got to check the child to make sure they're not weird, basically. And they basically just have it where they take everything, and then they just agree he's a victim, but he doesn't get any closure. They already took everything.
Mhm.
They
Okay,
took his kid, the body.
anyways, apparently I didn't realize there were so many characters in that article, because random person brings up they didn't have the daughter, Scarlet King, the GOC, the O5, and the brides.
Well, and the SCP staff that were not those characters. So there's a few more characters than he mentioned. So maybe we should just mark this as a 4. There's a lot of missing characters.
Yeah, just do a 4.
I don't feel like this video is worth getting this stressed out about. Altered
Ultra shows added
violence.
gore or violence.
This needs to be
Somehow.
marked a 4.
Huh?
Yeah,
What was that, Jerry?
this needs to be marked a 4.
You agree, Hatchet?
Yeah. The sheer amount of violence that they altered it just simply by removing it is absurd.
Jesus Christ,
Oh,
Scranton was in it?
yes, Brenton was in it.
Oh shit.
Weren't
There was I told you there was a lot of people in it.
Huh?
Aaron, weren't you the one fucking reading it?
Yeah, but I didn't read the name
I
Dr. Scranton
continued
yet.
reading it after the video started. Sorry.
Yeah. I didn't read the name Dr. Scranton yet.
I did. Scranton was the person that got handed the lady's body for testing.
It's about the creation of the reality anchor. Ah. Anyways, deviates from the plot of the article. We're just gonna put that.
Or yeah.
Like literally everything they did in the first 6 minutes was completely detached from the article.
Also, an offensiveness, may I suggest 4 with how they treated abuse?
Yeah.
They did have
I
one
mean,
woman, and
yeah.
it was just white people.
Well, I mean, you can't really fault the content farm for that since that's just the cast of this SCP.
Yeah, but you can fault them for how they
You know,
treated abuse. That,
glossing over the abuse, fucking treating the abuse victim like he's a zombie.
they could have made the video at least slightly better by just zooming out of the of like a city in all blackness and say, like, when the event happened, it looked like hell on earth.
Yeah,
Because a lot of SCP files that mention the Montauk thing, that describe it at all, call it hell on earth, and they don't go into the details of the lava, blood, and water.
yeah. Uh, oh, you got the 0 on the clickbait. On clickbait now. Fuck off for an absolutely horrible thing you dared to make. Yeah, technically, this was the worst video we've seen so far because we do have another 20%, but it's not 4s across the board except for thumbnail. Like they didn't go too bad in some categories, but here they did bad in all the categories except the thumbnail.
Uh,
This is technically the worst video we've seen so far for this channel. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh yeah, apparently, I didn't know he wrote this, but apparently Edmund's Bright, ticking box SCP. You know, the SCP box that constantly makes the ticking out noise. Got rewritten.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Looks like the rewrites are starting to happen.
Fun.
No, the one thing is, I'm not sure if anyone's going to want to take the 963. At least anytime soon, because some people might deem that a curse number. Yeah, anyways, ending soon in 3, 2, 1. Great. I am actually going to say, I was actually, before Hatcher brought up, like, canceling, I actually was about to say, should we just move on to the video? Eventually, I was starting to feel that way because, Anna doesn't notice, but I started remembering memories I don't want to remember. Because I experienced similar things Dr. Glyph did in the article. Not very fun. Yeah, random person does not know that, but I experienced that for a couple years. Yeah, not fun. So that was, like, I don't hate the SCP. I like how they portrayed it. It's just that it made me remember things I don't.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I only kept going through it so we can get a better understanding of the video. I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have had someone else read it or something.
There wasn't anyone better to read it. Maybe Hatchet when they got back?
Yeah. Um. The only
I
difference
don't think
between
we're rude for reading things like this.
yeah, the only difference between me and Dr. Cliff in that article is that I don't have a kid.
Also, eventually, after years, you were able to get away from it.
Anyway, Jared, do you have any last words for stream as well as you random person?
And just remember, no is a complete sentence.
I had to see. I need to cool off from this. I actually slammed my head against my desk at one point. Oh god.
Oh!
This
We love
SCP.
you, random person. Do not injure yourself because of how bad a content farm was. Oh, goodness.
I like how we went from just making fun of a video to feeling god awful at the end of the
Well,
stream.
that's because there was nothing to make fun of because it was so horrible.
Mm. Judy, you already did your last words? Was angry. I meant it. Yeah, that's fair.
I did my last words. I said no is a complete sentence.
Right, yeah. And shit, you got any last words?
Death. That's all.
It's fair. Yeah, oof.
Do you mean death or deep?
Death.
Yeah. Anyways, Nature Nattles, if I'm not feeling god awful with what I had experienced tonight, tomorrow night I'll be doing analog horror with Jerry. Depends on how I feel. Hopefully I don't feel like shit tomorrow. Cause I still have, cause I have to work tomorrow and I don't want to feel like shit during it. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys, possibly see you guys then. And, they'll be on Twitch, and I don't know what the fuck else to say. Goodbye, I guess.